Hey guys, Genman here with the deck of the month for December, and it is Kingless Skull Servants. So, let's go. First we have 3 Kingless Skull Servants. All he is here is the boss monster, but otherwise he also has a few other things that makes him good. First off, his effect says, the original attack of this card becomes the number of Kingless Skull Servants and Skull Servant cards in your graveyard times 1,000 points. When this card is sent to the graveyard and destroyed as a result of battle, remove from play one other Kingless Skull Servants or Skull Servant card in your graveyard to special summon this card. So essentially, he's technically hard to kill, depending on the number of Skull Servants in your graveyard, and he will have beastly attack points. And the highest you can get this guy is 11,000. Yes, 11,000. And other than that, he's just really awesome for that purpose. But you know, he isn't that. Even if he gets bottomless, you have 2 more, and there's more ways to bring him back. 3 Skull Servant. All he here is for is just to boost his king's attack. That's all he is to do. So nothing else really more to say other than weak attack and defense points. But that's kind of minor because you're just gonna put him in the grave anyways. 3 Wightmare. Maybe Wightmare. I say Wightmare. His effect is, while he's in a graveyard, his name is treated as Skull Servant, so automatically gives 1,000 to your king. Also depend on how many are in the graveyard. But he also has another effect. You can discard this card to activate one of the following effects. Select one of your remove from play Skull Servant or Wightmare and return it to your graveyard, or select one of your remove from play select one of your remove from play the Lady in the Wight or the Kingless Skull Servants and special summon it. So automatically, if you discard him and special summon the king, he'll have 1,000 and then however more for the Skull Servants in your graveyard. Or if you just discard him to get back the Skull Servant from your remove from play zone and put it in the grave, then it's 2,000 towards an already on the field king. So he's really good, and he automatically puts himself in the graveyard, which is really great. Next, 3, the Lady in Wight. Face up level 3 or lower zombie type monsters you control except the Lady in Wight. Cannot be destroyed by assault to battle, or cannot be destroyed by battle, and are unaffected by the effects of spell and trap cards. So if they activate Dark Hole and she's on the field, only she is destroyed, unless there's other level 4 monsters that are zombies on the field. And also a bonus effect is her name is treated as Skull Servant while in the graveyard. So once again, King gets another 1,000. Now on to the rest of the monsters. Spirit Reaper, he's just a wall, that's all he's going to be, and take cards from your opponent. This basic idea. 2, Goblin Zombie. He searches out everything but the Lady in Wight and Pyramid Turtle. What he does though, if you don't know, is when he inflicts battle damage to your opponent, they send a top card from their deck to the graveyard. And when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, in any manners, add 1 zombie type monster with 1,200 defense or less from your deck to your hand. Which is pretty much everything, like I said, except for Lady in Wight and Pyramid Turtle. And speaking of him, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you special summon, actually you can, special summon 1 zombie type monster with 2,000 or less defense from your deck. So it's everything but Lady in Wight. Next we have Shutendoji. If you don't know what he does, he's actually pretty good and he allows you to use Wightmare even more. And part of the engine as it works already. Once per turn, you can activate one of the effects. Remove from play 2 zombie type monsters from your graveyard to draw 1 card, or the other effect, which is select one of your remove from play zombie type monsters to the top of your deck. So, like if you have Mezuki in your graveyard, or in your remove from play zone, bounce him back to the top of your deck, which is the next monster, Mezuki. For you who don't know what he does, you can remove from play this guy from your graveyard to special summon 1 zombie type monster from your graveyard to your field. So he's pretty nice, and he has 1,700, so he's not too weak. 2, Zombie Master. Once per turn, you can send 1 monster card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon 1 level 4 or lower zombie type monster from either player's graveyard. So if you're in a mirror match, it's actually quite great. Otherwise, he's 1,800, and he's mean. Your purpose is to get Goblin Zombie to the graveyard, and then through Goblin Zombie's effect to get Skull Servants, then use the Skull Servants with his effect to get back your Goblin Zombie and just abuse that loop as much as you can and protect Zombie Master pretty much. Now into the spell lineup. 1. Allure of Darkness. You have 17 targets. The other 3 targets of 20 monsters you can't are Shutendoji, Pyramid Turtle, and Mezuki because they're Earth. But you just draw 2 cards and then remove the Dark monster. And it's really great for Wightmare because then you get them out of your hand faster if you remove and play a Skull Servant. 1 card destruction. You discard your hand because you really don't want to draw it into well, you do draw in the Skull Servants, but you don't want them in your hand except for unless you're using a Zombie Master, so you just ditch them faster. Hand destruction, same purpose as card destruction, just except for its quick play. But the only difference is here is you need your opponent to have at least 2 cards in hand in order to activate this, because your opponent, you cannot activate it otherwise. So, but it's 2 cards from your hand and draw 2 cards. You and your opponent get to both use that effect. Foolish Burial. There's no other way to get really the Lady in White to the graveyard. So, I mean, other than ditching it from your hand or destroy by battle. But to get her from the deck to your hand is kind of hard, so you just want to do it easier. Foolish Burial. Lady, 1 for 1, really good because it gets out your king, and that's the main purpose for this. And he really is your only target other than Skull Servant or Wightmare, but you know, all well. But for those who don't know, this sends 1 monster card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon 1 level 1 monster from your hand or deck. So he's pretty good. Monster Reborn, obviously, because we're Reborn on monsters. Book of Life, a monster born for zombie monsters. What it does is you special summon 1 from your graveyard and then remove and play 1 monster card from your opponent's graveyard. So pretty nice if you want to remove like Dandelion, remove Treeborn, remove the Gravekeepers, but as long as they don't Necro Valley. So otherwise you're safe. 1 Solidarity. This will explain why I'm not running Plague Spreader. Reasons why, unless you run Revive King Hades and Doom Kaiser Dragon alone, then you're okay. But otherwise, if you sync into something else, then you really can't abuse Solidarity. If you want to, you can take this out and then Plague Spreader. But the reason why I didn't add in Plague Spreader to Synchro is because you can only go into 6s, sometimes 7s, or 5s. And that's kind of limited because my deck's not meant to Synchro. So that's why I'm running Solidarity. It gives your Zombie Master a 2600, attack point value. So that's pretty much the only reason why I run this. 1 creature swap. Most monsters of yours are kind of weak, so why not? Fissure to destroy something that you can't at the time. Dark Hole. Why not? 1 giant Trunade and Mystical Space Typhoon for some spell and trap control. And for the trap lineup, Next Speed Lost. For those who don't know what this even is or haven't even seen it before or read it, it says select 1 face-up monster on your side of the field. Send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard with the same name as the selected card. So if you have the Lady in White, they attack it, let's say, it stays alive. You activate this, you send the Lady in White to the graveyard. Or if they attack King with a 2300 meter, let's say, and you have King of 2000, flip this, send another King from your deck, it's now 3000, and they lose their monster. And then you have a King in the graveyard, so it's pretty good. 1 trap stun. Pretty much you want to prevent, if you're going to go for the kill, you want to go trap stun, go for game. 2 Regeki Break. When you get your Skull Servant cards in the graveyard, this is good for getting them in the graveyard and keeps, if they summon something big that you don't want on the field, or they play a Spell Trap card you don't want, Regeki Break, and discard usually a Skull Servant or something you don't need at the time. So this is good for that, and it's just a universal destruction card. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Obviously, we don't want to face up against big monsters that are going to ruin our plans for sitting up for game. And 1 Torrential Tribute. So it gets rid of all monsters. For those who want to make the deck, this is just my take on it. You can just run like the all monster version almost with magical merchants or whatnot. But otherwise, build it as you see fit. I mean, this is just my version. You don't have to run it like I do. But it's pretty fun. Just the hardest part is finding the Skull Servant cards. That's pretty much it. So, that's pretty much it, guys. Till next time, peace out.